It's Christina again, and it's another really beautiful morning here in Perth. And I'm in the bush again with my doggies, and they're having a lovely romp. It's such a cool morning, and hopefully it will stay cool. It's been a really long day for me. Yesterday, it was a really long day. So yesterday was the start of what we call the early polling in Perth, in WA, the state of WA. So there are 59 electoral seats being contested, and that's, if you think of it, many different suburbs or districts combined into an electoral seat, and I'm in the electoral seat of Bateman, which fortunately or unfortunately is really hotly contested, because the incumbent, who was a Liberal MP, resigned, and so, as with most seats where the incumbent resigns, it's anybody's fair game. So in my electorate there are 9 candidates, myself included. Of course, the major parties, the Labours and the Liberals, are there, as well as the Greens. And the rest are minor parties, and there's one strong independent candidate who is the councillor of the area that I'm in. So really strong candidates, and here I am, the dark horse, with no political experience, but armed with a pure heart, armed with truth, with honor, with integrity, and an incredible work ethic. And just to give you an example of how hard I worked yesterday. So I woke up at about 6, did my usual household chores, water the garden, fed the dogs and so on, and then took off to the first polling station. So polling starts at 8. I was there, and my helper was at the other one. So fortunately or unfortunately again for me, there are 2 centres, not 1 but 2, and I don't really have help, because not many people are going to stop their work, and this is the first time we've actually had such a really long period of early voting. So it started yesterday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it goes on until the 12th of March, and the actual last day of polling at the schools will be on the 13th of March. So 16 days in all, with 1 day of rest on Labor Day. And I can tell you I'm looking forward to that. So I shuttled between the 2 centres, Applecross and Burragoon. And in between, I handed out flyers, talked to people, were rejected by some, but it's all good. My skin is thick as hard boots, that's fine. And after it was all done at 6, packed up. Oh yeah, I had my meals actually sitting there in between gulps. I talked to people. And then after that, didn't go home, but went straight on to one of the areas that is in my constituency and did more letterbox drops. Didn't finish till 8:30 when it was dark and I couldn't see any more letterboxes. So I'm pushing myself. I don't get paid, not 1 cent. I give out a lot of sweat. Why am I doing it? For the love of humanity, that's about it. For the love of my family and their futures in this country. Came here for freedom, and apparently that's not to be had. So this land of milk and honey is not what it should be. And so I'm plodding on. I hope that I'm going to be that dark horse that comes across the finish line. I pray that God will choose the fittest one to run this government and to be a voice for the people and to do what's right by the people. And that's why I'm doing it, and that's why I'm pushing myself and pushing myself down hard. Oh, and I say that after I came back at 8:30, I had a late dinner and then went online and did what I needed to do online, answered a survey questionnaire from volunteers of the bushfires, asking what I could do as an elected parliamentarian. That took almost an hour and a half. Pushed myself till about 1 a.m. and woke up this morning at 5:30. So, if hard work will win the day, I think I've got what it takes. I give my all, 200%, not just 100%. And I will demand it of the people that I work with. Because good enough is not good enough, but the best. That's why I ask of myself, and that is what I will ask of the people that I will work with. So there you have it. That's why I drive myself. And this is my brief respite before I get on again to the polling centers and do what's needed to be done. So if you're polling, or if you have friends who are polling in the electoral seat of Bateman, covers many districts, go look it up. I hope that you will put the number 1 next to my name. Thanks you all.